Hey guys, Ken here from the Retro Toy Escapades channel in Malaysia. The Nacelle company is bringing back one of the more prominent pop culture franchises of the early 90s, the Biker Mice from Mars. That's right, these motoring, muscle-bound Martian mice are back and ready to ride back into your collection. The original figures were produced by Galoob Toys in 1993, and they actually had quite a lot of stuff out on shelves for a while. Wave 1 of the new series from Nacelle is available for pre-order on their website and consists of the team leader Trottle, the hot-headed Vinny, and the one-man demolition mouse Modo. The figures are 7-inch in scale with multiple points of articulation, and each come with a single weapon accessory and an alternate helmeted head. The figures also come with a price tag of $36 each. Now, on Instagram, when the announcements went out, there were some strong reactions from collectors on what they felt were high price points and a lack of articulation on these figures. Even Nacelle company founder Brian Walkwies was seen directly addressing these comments. Now, I decided to dig out the original Biker Mice figures from 1983 to see how they hold up against the new ones that Nacelle are developing. Up in the arena today for comparison is Galoob's classic Modo figure. Now, the original Galoob figures were about 5.5 inches in scale and were taller than figures from comparable franchises like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. While the new Nacelle figures are almost certain to include a ball-jointed head, the classic ones did not. Alright, they probably didn't need to based on the overall mass-market action figure requirements at the time. They just turned from side to side. But one unique attribute was that the antenna on their heads could move in and out of the head. Okay, this was necessary for the helmets to be attached securely. Now, I don't have the breakdown of all of the articulation that the new figures come with, but the ordering page says 15 points. They are certain to have ball-jointed shoulders. That's something that the original figures had as well. Very smooth rotation, as you can see, and also a bend at the elbows. But there was no wrist turn, although the new figures will likely be able to do that. Now, one of the main issues as raised by the fans online is the lack of a chest or ab joint on the new figures. That's pretty much been the norm these days for a lot of 7-inch scale figures, anywhere from Marvel Legends to G.I. Joe and the Masterverse line for Masters of the Universe. Most of them have movement at the chest area and even sometimes at the abs. The originals had none of these either. In fact, it was definitely not an industry standard at the time. But you may be surprised to know that the old figures couldn't even turn at the waist. That's right, okay, a lot of figures in the 80s and 90s didn't bother with a turning waist, especially a lot of the Kenner ones too. Maybe it was something that was never seen as critical because if you think about it, a lot of humans don't even turn that much at the waist, okay? Now, working your way down, you see that the ball-jointed hips are there, and there will also be a bend at the knees and possibly the ankles as well. The original had ball-jointed hips too. Whoa, shit, that popped right off. Okay, these pop back in very smoothly, very smooth rotation as well, and we get a knee bend too. Now, all of these articulation points are also generally surpluses for early 90s figures. Yeah, trust me, okay, because a knee bend, okay, that was a luxury back then. Now, we don't get the photos or renderings of the back of the figures yet, but you can see part of Modo's tail here from the front. And yeah, these guys are mice, so the tails are a must, right? On the originals, the tails were made out of soft, flexible material, and they had one joint that allowed you to pose them in either direction. This is certain to be something that the new figures have as well. Okay, the vintage figures came with helmets that could fit directly over the heads. The antenna gets pushed down and the helmets slot right over. It may look somewhat oversized, but at the same time, they still managed to pull it off, alright? I like this look. The new figures will come with separate helmeted heads, so either way, you do get the helmets, alright? But personally, I would prefer the helmets to be a separate piece so that they can hold them in the hands. Okay, let me know which version you guys prefer. Okay, we also need to bring out one of the classic bikes for the video. This is in fact Trottle's Martian Monster bike, but we can get Modo on there as well. He's looking ready to tear up the streets. The seat on the bike has a groove built into it to accommodate the tail, and this guarantees a comfortable cruise. This should also give you an indication of how the vintage figures look like on the bikes with the existing articulation and how the new figures could look like while on them. The bike speeds along smoothly, and you definitely need them along with the figures. Best of all, Nacelle has stated that the bikes will be coming in Wave 2. So that's the video, guys. My throwback look at the vintage biker mice from Mars. Let me know if you're excited for these new figures that Nacelle are putting out. Let me know if you ever owned the classic figures or if you followed the cartoon series back in the 90s. Hit me up in the comments and I'll catch you guys again real soon with more content right here. Thank you and take care out there.